everybody. How are you all doing today?
What's up?
Happy Sunday and
Sunday fun day.
happy holidays. Thanks everybody for joining who, I know it's like the Sunday before Christmas, and a lot of us are not with family or as much family this year as normal, but still the fact that you guys are on and hanging out with us, it really means a lot. So we're really excited to see you all.
Thanks for joining us.
I had posted what I'm hoping is a fun question for everybody to answer. I thought it'd be fun to start our Means to Travel holiday tea party and coffee party.
Coffee.
Yeah, I'm starting with coffee, switching to tea. I thought it'd be fun to start it with just like hearing from everybody about your travel experiences in December. Whether it's visiting family or going somewhere else, and we can share ours and just kind of use this time to hang out and like talk about holiday travel and chill and like
wake up with coffee.
Yeah. So Ronnie says hi. Lori Sims says good morning, Means to Travel. I like today's question. Should get a lot of great suggestions and memories.
Hope so.
So definitely hoping you guys can share yours, and Derek and I can share ours as well. I don't know if I'm hoping the chat's working because it says there's a lot of people on right now, but I'm only seeing chats from not as recent.
I'm gonna try to chat and let's see if it works.
Great. Sue's on. Hi, Sue. Good morning.
Hi.
We never travel during the holidays. Fair enough. Very fair. Derek and I. So many of you guys know Derek and I used to live in New York for
8 years.
8 years. And our families aren't all in Chicago either, so this happened when we were in Chicago as well a bit. But in New York especially, we traveled every single holiday to go see family. And so we would travel from New York to Cincinnati to Tucson, or reverse it and do New York, Tucson, Cincinnati, and back. So basically we crossed the entire nation every single holiday.
Every Christmas.
It was worth it. We had a great time each time, and we always looked forward to it. But like we would have to even ask off from work like 6 months in advance to make sure that we got enough time to cover all of that ground.
Yeah.
So we're definitely experienced travelers when it comes to holiday travel. We went on our honeymoon during the holidays too.
Yeah. So we went to South America 3 years ago. When was this?
Yeah.
3 years ago. Yeah. So three Christmases ago. We were down in Argentina for Christmas, and we were in Chile for New Year's. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. And we were surprised to see how many people didn't have as many like holiday decorations and stuff down in South America. I don't know if it was a summer thing, but there was like the only places that we really saw a significant amount of holiday decor was at the shopping mall.
Yeah.
And we even went out to Christmas Eve dinner. And man, that is a different tradition down there. That's
well, yeah,
sure.
I mean, was that Christmas Eve or was that Christmas Day?
It was. I don't remember. I think it was Christmas Eve.
But whatever it was, we ended up at the restaurant, and it was great because it was a really nice restaurant. But like we lucked in and like squeezed us in because we didn't book far enough in advance. That's a little fun tip if you're looking for reservations around Christmas. Definitely book that in advance.
Yes.
So we ended up going, and they sat us at like 6 or something.
I think it was actually 7.
7.
Like, we thought we were in prime dinner hour.
Yeah, it was like 7 p.m. or something like that, and like nobody was in the restaurant. And we're like, what's going on? And like people didn't really start showing up till 8, and those were like with young kids. It was like people with like 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
Were showing up at 8, and we're like, oh my God, we're at the kiddie table.
Oh no, it's like we're the early bird special.
Yeah, exactly. It was awesome though.
And people would then go to I think like midnight mass and stuff too. We just didn't know the tradition. So.
But we were in Bariloche, right down near Patagonia in Argentina, at a really nice restaurant called Patacon, I think. And
right.
Their claim to fame is that I guess Clinton? I think Clinton ate there. President Clinton ate there. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
awesome food. They actually had was that a lamb or a pig like roasting over the fire?
Lamb, I believe.
It was like butterflied over the fire, just like leaning and like open flames. We were like,
I think it was
awesome.
like rotating on a stick.
No, it
too,
wasn't. It was
I
just
don't
like
know.
leaning
It
there.
felt like it was.
It was so
very. It was very. In
so
your
good.
face.
It was in my mouth. I was like, put it in my mouth. It was delicious.
So yeah, we've never been to Europe right at Christmas time, but of course we were there this year, in a little bit of the lead up. So that was fun to see a little bit more of the holiday decor and how the UK celebrates, the lead up to Christmas.
Yeah, and we didn't get to see it that much. I mean, in like York, they did have some like market type stuff up, but I don't know how different that was than just their normal market. Because my understanding is that like a lot of the Christmassy type markets aren't really happening. So we really just got to see the, probably what their seasonal shambles market kind of looks like, which was still very cool and festive.
Yeah, so
and they had lights.
I would liken it to if you guys have ever been to, like the Christmas markets in New York City. It was pretty much on the same par in terms of size and like types of gifts and stuff like that you could find. And my understanding is there's other parts of Europe that really in other years, like non-2020 years, go all out. And so that would be really cool to see. And it looks like Sue is thinking the same.
Yep. Okay, so let's see here. So Ronnie says he's only traveled one time to Pennsylvania to see some family.
Well, that would be a different climate than Texas.
A little bit colder. Probably had to pack differently. That's fun. And if you drove, that'd be a heck of a road trip, unless you flew, which might make a little bit more sense. I don't know. Scorpio Sue says she'd love to go to Christmas markets in Europe, which would be phenomenal. We would love to go as well. As Eliz was saying, kind of went, but didn't really. So, need to get out there.
And hi to my dad who was on.
What up, Al?
We skipped him.
Clayton Lucas. I went to Curitiba, Brazil a couple of weeks ago from Oklahoma and had a great time with friends. No problems whatsoever. Just practices all safety protocols. Headed to North Yorkshire, UK on December 31.
Wow. That's a huge jump from Brazil. So, I don't know. I don't know if anyone is on yet or on from the UK right now. Sometimes we have people join from there. And I just wanted to apologize to you guys, not for anything I did, but for what your country is doing, which is going into lockdown right before Christmas, and I am so sorry.
Yeah.
I know that you guys, especially England, made a lot of sacrifices in November in hopes that Christmas would be you'd be able to travel and see your families at Christmas, and unfortunately it seems like that all this new news is coming out that Christmas is canceled and blah 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 quotes there, which is such a shame when you guys have had to go through so much.
Yeah, a lot of places I guess in England, down especially in the southeast, like London and Kent and stuff, I think have gone into stage 4 at this point.
Yep.
Actually today I think they go into stage 4, which is true lockdown again. So I guess there's I was just reading the articles.
No traveling abroad, so anybody whose family is abroad.
Italy is, I think, the most recent country to add the UK to their no-fly list. They're kind of getting cordoned off by the EU at this point.
Yeah.
Which is, understandable, but a shame for those people.
Yeah. So obviously. I know we're all having a very different looking Christmas right now. All over the world.
Yep.
Different looking holiday season too, because obviously we know many people who don't celebrate Christmas, and it's just we want to just recognize that I'm sure it's hard on all of you guys just as it is on us. We've made certain sacrifices in order to be at Derek's parents' house where we're at right now, and it's just going to be the 3 of them that live here, like Derek's parents and his brother that live here, and then the 2 of us.
Yep.
And it's just gonna be that way.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Okay, so what else we got? Chris Frank, in 2018, I traveled to Germany, Austria at the end of November, early December. I arranged my flights to fly KLM on a 747 and then back on AF, Air France.
Yep.
On an A380, so glad I did. Very cool.
Nice.
I'm sure that was an awesome time. And he says, then less than a month later, I had the opportunity to travel to London for New Year's. You're racking up some flight miles there, my friend.
That's really
Were you
great.
doing like a mileage run? Were you trying to like get status or something like that? Because I did that one year. I flew in between Christmas and New Year's. I flew from Chicago to Seattle and back in a day. I just basically got off, waited 3 hours. It was last year. I flew to Seattle. It feels like 10 years ago. But last year I actually did a mileage run to, keep my status, and I ended up doing that flight, which was great because, they had the Amex Centurion Lounge in Seattle and stuff. So I basically just went and hung out in the Centurion Lounge for like 3 hours, waited for my next flight, boarded, and like took off. I didn't have anything except for like a laptop with me. It was very different. I had like not even like a real carry-on. It was awesome. But yeah, no, it was a good trip, and I hit status, so that's what matters.
You did. There's all these articles that in normal times are posted this time of year about mileage runs and status runs.
Yeah, and the idea is, right, you find the cheapest ticket possible to hit the mile number that you need to get to that next level.
Because a lot of people who fly for business reasons, they just find it just similar to why Derek did it. They find it to be worth it to maintain their status for the following year. Sacrifice a day of traveling to be able to have that extra status. That being said, was it worth it this year? Probably not.
Well, no, because all statuses got extended an additional year, so
that's true.
We're fine. This time next year, I might be singing a different tune and planning some travels just to hit some numbers, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so good morning, musicians at midlife. Katie Smith, good morning, loves the sweaters, because I got a sweet bod.
Mine's just this.
But wait, there's more.
Hold on. It's in my back pocket. Okay, so it lights up. I haven't done this in a year.
What? Don't go into the light.
Ridiculous. Okay.
No, you have to leave it on now the rest of the time.
No. Nobody wants to have my flashing twinkle reindeer lights.
We went to a really fun ugly sweater party last year. God, that feels so long ago. And we had a great time, and Eliz was a big hit with this sweater.
Yeah. So it really is bright if you're in like a dark room. We have a lot of light shining at us, so it's not as impactful. But, oh my gosh, I went into a dark kitchen and turned it on, and everyone's like, no!
She went where the mulled wine was, and that was fun. Musings of Midlife. I have not traveled over the holidays, but hoping to spend the first 10 days of December 2021 in Paris and Florence. Paris and Firenze. I will let you know after that. So cool.
Nice.
So Paris, City of Lights. So very, very neat. Florence, very cool.
City of Art, I suppose.
It's the David. Florence is probably my favorite city that I've ever been to in Italy. It's also the city that I've spent the most time in Italy. Back when we were in
it's
college.
Magical.
It's a magical place. Once again, write this down. Gelateria Caraya in Florence is phenomenal. Get the cookies, gelato. It's to die for.
It is.
Much better, I thought, than Grom, which is by El Duomo. But Grom, I always found like you can get that not anywhere, but like they have them in like New York and other places. This place, I think, is only in Florence, so check that one out. There's a lot of good mornings and hellos and how are yous? And Iggy! Hello from Torre Dan Jimeno. My favorite place is nearby in Estepa, Sevilla province, which is famous for their Christmas treat, mantecados. I've never had mantecados.
Yeah,
that sounds
Derek
really good.
studied in Sevilla and Andalusia. So I'm surprised you didn't get to try that. Well, we'll just have to go back.
I wasn't there in Christmas time.
Yeah, that's true. He was there January through June or something like that.
Yeah. So, very neat, though. So, in Andalusia, that's really neat. Klaus. Hello, Klaus.
Hi, Klaus. And good morning to Katie Smith and Lori Sims, Musings at Midlife. And my mom, Ruth Armstrong.
And Thomas Reiser.
And
Nicole Fwinnett.
Well, we're getting to Nicole because she's got to respond.
But I know, but there's things.
I know, but we missed Baggy T. We missed Sam.
And Baggy T. What's up, Baggy T?
Anyway,
anybody else
back to Klaus.
Klaus says, I celebrated New Year's in Skopje, North Macedonia. Or Macedonia. Yeah, but the Greeks don't have a so Macedon? I don't know. Last year, that was actually before Christmas down there. They celebrate Christmas in early January. Great experience.
I've never been to that area of the world, and that would be really cool to hear more about. Like, what's the decor like there? What's the food like there at the holidays?
Yeah, that'd be really cool. And again, that was one of those like schism things, right? They celebrate Christmas at a different time.
Yeah.
And I think maybe even Easter. Ruth, hello, good morning. Baggy T, I enjoyed Florida. We were there for Christmas, New Year's in 2006. Brilliant time. We'll remember it forever.
Awesome.
Nice. What part of Florida?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Yeah, we've been to Florida between the two of us a bunch of times.
Yep. Love Florida. It's great.
It's great.
Nice and warm, especially around this time of year. Scorpio Sue says Belgium has halted the Eurostar to and from the UK. Yep. A lot of people are not wanting the UK in right now. They're saying they have a new strain.
I think the Netherlands is too.
Well, and Italy and other places.
But I mean, the Netherlands also halted the Eurostar, I believe.
Yeah.
Like, I think both Belgium and the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Are unified on that.
No coming through the channel right now, guys. No, but so from what I read, it seems like there's like a new strain that might be spreading faster than previous strains in the UK. So they're really trying to squash that quick if they can. Lori Sims, growing up, my family always went snow skiing, either in Utah or Mammoth Mount here.
Montana.
Oh, Mammoth, Montana.
Oh, no, you were right. Mammoth Mountain here in the Sierras. You were right. Sorry.
Mammoth Mountain here in the Sierras. Cool. We don't know how to ski.
Yeah, we're like the most lame Midwesterners neither of us have ever skied.
Well, I mean,
there's actually a ski slope
close,
in this town.
Like 15 minutes away.
Yeah, but Derek didn't grow up here.
No.
So, we just haven't gone.
Nope.
One of the Olympians, like skiing Olympians, I guess.
Snowboarder.
Grew up. Oh, snowboarder.
I think it's snowboarder. Grew up here.
Yeah.
And that's where he learned how to like board and stuff, which is kind of cool. But yeah, no, we want to do that one of these years, but obviously this year with COVID, we're not going to go like try to take like ski lessons.
Nope.
That doesn't seem like safe. But maybe next year.
Yeah.
So Nicole says, I love going to Paris in the run-up to Christmas. The lights on the Champs-Élysées are lovely, and they used to have some lovely Christmas markets, although they've cut back on these, separate
Nicole,
from COVID.
That's got to be such great memories to at least be able to, like, think about right now and remember what those lights looked like.
Yeah. Paris is awesome. We've been many times now, and we love going back every single time. Ruth, your electric personality. Nice. Yeah, there's no batteries. This is all just lit up with her personality. It's great. Katie Smith, in 2012, I did Christmas markets in Vienna, Prague, and Budapest. Ooh, Budapest. I want to go to Budapest so bad.
Those are supposed to be like some of those top spots to do it.
Also, I want to go to Prague and Vienna, let's be honest there. But
That's
Budapest.
Great. And honestly, that's the trip. Like, we were thinking about doing a trip like that in summertime, hitting those 3 exact cities. I think that's a very common European trip for people.
Yep.
Oh gosh, did somebody put bells on Lexi?
Bells on Lexi ring.
Oh, Lexi's came with her Christmas sweater. Oh, welcome to the party.
Come here. Come here.
Yeah, here, let's
You take this.
Okay, I have a piece of ham to bribe Lexi to show you guys her little Jingle Bell sweater.
Oh, ham.
You gotta show off your.
She's got Santa on her back. She's like, the ham is over there though, guys.
Somebody give me this. Okay, that's torture. Sorry. We love you. We love you.
Oh, you're such a good little pup.
So that was not planned. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, she does kind of look like a little fox emoji, doesn't she?
Oh yes. Oh,
I was like, I could hear you coming, Lex, before I could see you.
You're like shaking because you're like, where's that good ham? I need a fix.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Anyway, so we were talking about Vienna, Prague, and Budapest.
Yeah, so all those places seem really cool, and those were on our schedule for this year.
Yeah.
Summertime. Obviously, that didn't happen, but I guess next year.
Yeah,
or the year
I
after.
think there's a pretty easy train you can use to get from one to the other.
You went down.
So it's like you could probably fly into Budapest, fly out of Prague, sort of thing, hit Vienna in between. Bye, Lex. She's not like great at sitting still.
As you can tell by her just shaking. Like,
yeah. Anyway,
Florence is okay. Wait, where? Wait, really?
Did we?
No. Muse in Midlife says Florence is awesome. Hoping to be there for tree lighting in front of the baptistry on 12/8.
Nice.
So Lori Sims is telling Katie Smith I read all those temps in all the city in my daily paper, and boy, it is cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
By the way, I just wanted to go back to the Florence thing. So, I'm guessing do they always light the tree there on December 8th? And is it like a big tourist attraction? Just because I haven't heard about it and it sounds really cool. So that would be something to write down if you're ever in Italy in December to go over there for that.
Yeah.
Lexi's still here, by the way. She's just hanging.
She just didn't want to be on my lap.
Still ham.
She's like, there might be ham. I don't know. Thomas Reiser says, I went on a bunch of Christmas markets in early December for a number of years. That's awesome, Thomas. I'm glad you have those awesome memories. More Musings at Midlife says, the highs average in the 50s in December in Paris, but I'm from Minnesota, so it still feels warm, LOL. Yeah, 50s is actually really nice for this time of year.
Also, I just want to answer my mom real quick. Derek's dad, Eric, brought down the ham.
Yes, we don't just have ham.
With Lex. Like, he like brought down a plate of ham.
To get her to come.
Get her to come here. that was what was happening behind the scenes.
She's very tummy motivated.
Yeah,
either she wants
you if there's food.
Either she wants food in her belly or tummy rubs. Those are the two motivating factors in her life.
Yes, or ear scratches.
Or ear scratches, which is what I'm doing right now. So Nicole says, I'm in the UK in the county of Bedfordshire. We went into Tier 3 on Saturday and just got into Tier 4. All my Christmas plans were ruined. You got out of the UK just in time. Yeah, we were actually talking about that, you know, because we'd been thinking, we're like, oh, wait, could we stay? Like, what would that look like? And we are glad that we got out when we did at this point.
And what's interesting in terms of, like, strategy just for this channel is because I'm sitting on so much UK content and like videos that I want to publish, but because literally nobody can really do any of these things right now, you know, I published the Greenwich travel vlog, I think it's 2 days ago now, and it didn't get as much pickup as when I published the London vlogs and the Portsmouth vlog last fall, and there's a lot of factors to that, but I'm trying to understand if I should be kind of like pressing pause on some of those as you know, I want to make sure it's relevant and it feels, you know, right to be releasing these types of things right now.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping people are interested in seeing and like having a little bit of escapism and seeing what we did do.
Yep.
And maybe making plans for when lockdown isn't happening. Thanks, Lex.
Jingle bells. She's like, keep scratching, dude. What are you doing? Yeah, so that said, I mean, I do think that there is some sense to, like, if people are thinking about planning 2021 travel for later, once, you know, vaccines are all rolled out and stuff, you know, having those videos out might be helpful so people can kind of, like, think about plans. Where do we want to go and whatnot? Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll have to talk to Mark over at Walter's World and see what he says, because, you know, he kind of said that he feels that his channel can be a bit of a leading indicator on, you know, if the view pickup happens, then he knows people are kind of planning travel at that point. So maybe we can get some inside track knowledge on if he's seeing, you know, view pickup or not. So.
Yeah, because I think we're all very hopeful about 2021 travel, but like cautiously optimistic, if you will.
Yeah. So, but again, Nicole, so sorry for your plans getting ruined.
I know, it's such a bummer.
I know everybody's very hopeful about those 5 days around Christmas, everything easing up, and I know that's been dashed. So.
Yeah.
So Katie Smith says, so cold. I really underestimated that. Definitely recommend. Yeah. Troy Stansel, Key West was pretty neat for Christmas and New Year's. I had a cheeseburger in paradise that trip. Nice. I stayed drunk, ate a Cuban sandwich for Christmas. Palm trees lit up with lights. Very cool.
A Cuban sandwich for Christmas is a great tradition. You should definitely keep that going.
Yeah, she's still over here. Yes, everybody's saying cute, sweet pup. She's so stinking cute. We agree.
Oh man, we're getting another delivery for her. I don't know if they're going to be able to see that though on camera because it's not going to have the impact that when she walks around. We have a behind the scenes, I don't know, like prop person happening right now. Derek's dad wants keeps bringing more Christmas stuff.
Hey, come on.
Lexi. All right, you want to pick her up?
All right, let's go. And she's got these things.
Christmas ears. Christmas ears.
And they're on these things, so like when she walks, they just kind of like wobble around, which is like really fun to watch. Can we just become a dog channel?
Yeah.
Is that
no, because I think not everybody loves the dogs.
a traveling dog channel where she just looks so stinking cute?
Kind of like a Flat Stanley, but for like a real live dog.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's do another one. What do we got?
Sorry, I had skipped around a little bit.
Oh wait, no, that's new. Lori Sims. I did Venice to Vienna to Prague to Budapest to Dubrovnik. Easy between trains and short hopper flights. August/September 2018. About 24 days. Loved it. Wow, that sounds like it's such an epic trip.
Awesome. I also really want to go to Dubrovnik and Croatia in general.
Yeah. Croatia has long been on my list ever since college, and I, talked to a lot of people who had gone there, done like the Dalmatian coast and all that kind of stuff, and it would be really cool.
Yeah, and your uncle went to Croatia too, I think.
Yep.
That's in recent years.
Two of my uncles have been to Croatia in recent years.
And then Ronnie, you're hoping for your passport in the mail this week. I hope so too.
Cool.
I know that it sounds like they're just starting to catch up. And I had heard like they had like 1 million passport backlog or something during the pandemic, and it sounds like they're slowly but surely getting everybody's passports going. So that's great news, especially for 2021 travel if it starts to become possible.
So Becky T says, we were based on International Drive in Orlando, visited Clearwater and Miami for 3 nights, done most of the Disney World theme parks and Universal Islands of Adventure.
I bet going to Disney around Christmas time would be cool.
Yeah,
holidays.
Yeah. Miami, though, I'm a big fan of Miami.
I could see, like, I have a lot of friends who are Jewish, and I could also see it being a very popular spot for Jewish families to travel to. Everyone that I... not everyone that I know, but like a lot of the Jewish families that I know would go to Florida and Mexico at the holiday season just because a lot of them would have that time off anyway. And so they would use that to go somewhere warm.
Yep.
Thank you, Sue. The Greenwich video was great, she said. I love the mix of point of view and seeing you guys. Thanks.
What'd you think of the voiceover? Because that was new.
That was
Eliz
new.
had never done voiceover before, so
yeah,
that was.
I hope you guys liked it. I am open to feedback on it, and have been trying to work through and try to get better at editing travel vlogs. It does take me a long time to do because for each destination we filmed a lot of footage, and so getting those everything cut correctly and edited and overlaying music and stuff. It's a while.
Yeah, it's not like the Travel Tip Tuesdays or something where it's just like kind of pretty much one take, or maybe there's like a few little stops and starts, but like this is like
and it's not
dozens
really
of clips
the kind of content that I've done much of in the past, but I want to start because it feels like it's really exciting for me to do for us, so we have that documentation, but it also is a way for you guys to see what we like, all of the things that we did and everything like that.
Eric Zwart, thank you so much.
That
you
is
get
so
a wave.
Sweet. Yay, wave.
And a wave.
Yay, wave.
And another one. Oh, I didn't wear
First
my Batman
wave.
pants.
Yes, yes. Thank you,
Thank
Eric.
you, Eric.
He
A little
says,
Christmas present for you guys. Wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thanks you
Eric.
as well.
Thank you.
So sweet.
Very sweet. And Eric has been doing some travel in Europe, but I think he said he's staying put now and just going to be skiing. I thought I had heard, so that
Skiing
sounds cool.
in Austria. I mean,
Heavenly.
Sorry you're stuck.
Just make sure you post about your skiing adventures because we're excited to live vicariously through you a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, please do it. So I just wanted to go backwards and just by saying thank you to all of you guys who did watch the Greenwich video, and we had so many comments from so many of you that just really like warmed my heart. I was just really pleased that you all watched it.
Yep. Thank you.
And a lot of you guys said that you hadn't really had Greenwich on your like places to see in London, and rightfully so, because it's not like a top spot, but I got really excited the first time that we went, and it's in the video, even though we didn't go on this trip, but we went to the Prime Meridian, and we got to stand and like straddle the two hemispheres.
Yep.
That was really, really cool. And so even though I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing it right now, next time you go back to London, if you've already done a lot of those like main sites like the London Eye and Westminster Abbey and Tower of London, those things, doing the river ferry from central London to Greenwich is pretty easy. And then you can stop and go to the museums there and just enjoy kind of a more villagey experience that is London.
One thing we didn't say on the video, which we should have said probably in hindsight now, is don't take a taxi from London to Greenwich, especially at rush hour, which is what we did because we had baggage. We were like, I don't know if we want to deal with the boat right now. And in hindsight,
it was raining and we had just
it was raining. We had just missed the boat. And so we were like, oh man. So we ended up taking a taxi. And I swear it probably took us twice as long in a taxi because there was like crazy traffic.
It was like Friday at 5 p.m. and we're like, let's take a taxi. Because
she was like, let's take a taxi.
In our heads, it made sense because we had all the luggage and it was raining. And so it was just like, all right, this is going to be the easiest option from a comfort standpoint. But it definitely took a lot longer.
Yeah, so we ended up in a taxi and stuff, and it was like, I think it would have been like a 20-minute Clipper ride maybe from where we were, and instead we were in a car for probably about an hour. Yeah. Actually, it was pretty bad. So like, and the cost would have been I think even cheaper on the boat, even though initially we were like, ooh, that's kind of expensive.
Yeah, and this was like in October when most people weren't even going to work still, so like it probably would have been worse during.
Yeah, so our recommendation, if you go, take the boat. We actually, the last time we went, we took the boat. Which is also just a really cool way to see the city from the river. So, you know, you get your transit and a little bit of a river cruise for the price of one, which is kind of nice.
Yep.
And the other thing that I'd recommend from the video is definitely checking out Greenwich Park and using that to, like, check out those views of London because those were phenomenal.
Yeah, that was in the video.
that was in the video.
Definitely in the video.
Definitely do that. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was probably both of our favorite things that we did on this trip. For sure, in Greenwich. Other than eat the fish and chips. That
was good.
Derek was like in love with that fried banana.
It smelled so good. I mean, honestly, it was less sweet than I expected. Because it, you know, there's not added sugar really. It's just like banana fried with some like whipped cream. I guess there's a little bit of caramel and stuff, but like it's not as sweet. As an American, it's not as sweet as most desserts I would expect, right? Yeah. But it was so good.
So yeah.
So Amusing Midlife says, I love your vlogs. It's an escape, but I also think people are dealing with a bit of travel depression and maybe get sad watching them. Maybe.
I get that. I mean, you know, it's also not everybody had the same. We acknowledge that not everybody had the same ability to go do what we did this year, and so there could just be a little bit of, you know, sadness that that goes along with that.
Yeah. So, yeah, Baggy T agrees with Musings of Midlife that, you know, all the plans just seem like a dream at the moment. Yeah, we get that.
My mom says, I saw that Samsonite is working on its target market to start making their travel plans for 2021 and, of course, buy their luggage. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of the luggage brands kind of, along with airlines and stuff like that, a lot of the luggage brands probably took a hit this year. And I don't know, I haven't been following which ones maybe took more than others, but for example, I have 2 review videos on my channel for a Toomey bag and for a Chester bag, so they're at 2 kind of different price points. I would say the Toomey's definitely more of the luxury luggage, and then the Chester is kind of a mid-range. It's a competitor to like away bags and stuff. Both of those videos did very well in 2019, and obviously didn't do so well in 2020. So I would imagine, because those videos are watched by people that are in market for luggage, so I'd imagine that market really dipped this year. But hopefully starting next year, especially with people having watched so much Marie Kondo and like the home edit this year on Netflix, and then they decluttered their homes and stuff, that they're going to be looking for new luggage next year or something.
Maybe. Does not spark joy. Get out of here.
This suitcase does not spark any joy.
Get out of here. I just Marie Kondoed it. All right, so actually we saw that they did a little documentary type thing where they brought back the cast of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
And I had forgotten about all those times when Will Smith's friend, DJ Jazzy Jeff or whatever his name is, like would always get thrown bodily out of the house. And I feel like that's what people do with maybe their luggage, where they're just like, what?
Get out.
Not this time. But yeah, no, it's...
yeah.
I forgot how good that show was.
But Sue, you're right. Maybe planning videos. I think with the vaccine, people are ready to start planning. Personally, I loved a step-by-step. That's a great thought. I could probably make that work. Yeah. Any other tips on videos? I can do that too.
Yeah, if we're crowdsourcing over here, guys.
Yeah, like
just
basically
send us video ideas. We'll make them. Write them in the comments. Shoot them to us in DMs. It doesn't matter. Give us ideas. We'd love to make more videos. So.
Yeah, there's a few tips that we've already shared kind of piecemeal through our live streams on that front of how we plan. But it probably would be helpful to make it in a more succinct way. Yeah. So it's like a little bit more digestible. Quick hits.
Yep. So Sue likes that she got to see Greenwich through our video.
Aw, great.
Which is very nice. Thank you. So Lori Sims says, from Dubrovnik, I took day tours to Montenegro, Kotor, and one other good base, but Zagreb was supposed to be very nice, not easy to travel, but buses will take you. It was very crowded. Yes.
Yeah.
And especially with like the Game of Thrones fame and everything, a lot of the places in Croatia have become pretty,
But I'm so
crowded.
glad that you were able to. I didn't know, I hadn't done enough research to know that you could really use Dubrovnik as a home base to explore not only Croatia but other countries close by. So that's really good information, because that you can use Dubrovnik and then go into Montenegro, go into probably Bosnia and Herzegovina, stuff like that.
Thomas Reiser, thank you for saying that the Greenwich video was great.
Thank you.
All right, so Chris Frank, I love the Greenwich video. I wanted to visit, but did not have time when I was in London last time.
It does take a little bit of time, and for those of you who are now considering it, it's not like a quick detour outside of London. It does take, by train or by boat or something, I would give an hour commute time. The boat's a little bit faster, but I'd give an hour to get there and back. So it's definitely like a half day, if not full day, on your London itinerary.
Yep.
But it's worth it because it's just a cool area.
Yeah, but if you head there after breakfast, walk around the park a bit, grab lunch or head over to the museum first when it first opens, then grab lunch at the Chippy, walk around the park, you can make a full day out of it.
For sure. I mean, especially if you're going to the museums.
Yeah.
No question.
And then you can stay in two hemispheres. That's fun.
Because you can even go into the Cutty Sark, which we showed the outside of the Cutty Sark, which that's...
Yeah, we were not willing to go inside of a ship.
No. Was it even open?
Yeah, I think it was
open, actually, yeah.
It was open while we were there.
But the ship, just for you all to know the backstory, is it used to be the ship that would bring tea from India, I believe, to London. So it's got some history. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Musings of Midlife love the meantime pun.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you. Had to. Couldn't do a Greenwich video without it.
And Eric is saying that skiing starts next weekend, so looking forward to those pictures. Scorpio Sue says, last time I was in London, we toured the Southwark area. It's one of our favorite areas now.
Southwark is great.
Yeah.
We stayed
in the Hilton.
Yeah, we stayed at the Hilton Tower Bridge, which is technically in Southwark as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
great area.
Awesome
Yeah.
spot. If you've ever watched Bridget Jones' Diary, that's where she lives. In the first movie, it's like Borough Market and really cool like shops and boutiques and stuff.
Yeah. Karen Mack, hey Karen Mack, how are you?
Hi, Karen.
I had a work trip to Switzerland a couple of years in a row, and both times I ended up at the Christmas markets in Montreux and Lucerne. Montreux's setting was beautiful next to the lake and mountains.
Oh, that
awesome.
sounds awesome. Can
That
I
sounds
do
epic.
your work? That's amazing.
That sounds so epic.
Especially, I would love to be able to eat like Swiss chocolate and like a Swiss hot chocolate sort of thing at Christmas time. That would
Yummy.
be so cool.
Yummy. That would be cool. Thomas Reiser spent a day in Greenwich on one of his trips to London. Very cool. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Lori Sim says, my son and I did a morning tour of the Borough Market. Great experience, and the walk along the water is wonderful to explore. I agree. Walk along the
perfect.
Thames is just magical.
Yeah, you definitely
It's like
did Southwark right.
favorite thing.
That's perfect. And Sue says, FYI, Rick Steves has a sale going on right now.
Oh, no.
I love these breaking news on Rick Steves
Guys,
sales on these live streams.
I'm going to go order stuff so it's not sold out this time.
Yeah, that is true. She says everything is on sale. Plus, he has some Lonely Planet guidebooks on his site too.
Oh,
wow,
cool.
I didn't know. Yeah, last time what was it, last summer or something? And somebody announced that there was a sale on
Like a
Rick Steves'
flash
book.
sale on
Flash
his
sale was
books.
like $5 per book. And by the time Derek and I signed off the live stream, all of the books that we were interested in had already been sold out. And we were like, no.
It's like so shell-shocked. Oh, well.
And then I think like Megan Morris was like, I can give you one of the books I ordered. We're like, it's okay. Man, but we need to get on that Rick Steves guidebook sale.
Mailing list or something so
Yeah.
we know when these things happen.
Can Rick send us a text next time? How
Dude,
rude.
Set up some Google News alerts on it or something. Karen Mack says, I found a new use for my packing cubes. Ooh, color me
Yay.
intrigued. I stored my summer clothes in them and organized them by tops and bottoms. Takes less storage space.
That's awesome. And you could probably even use them as like under bed storage too.
Yeah.
Because
That's actually a great idea.
We have packing cubes here. That we took several of them with us on the trip and stuff, and I just kind of packed, I took the biggest one and then put all of the other ones into it and then put it under the bed. And I had this idea actually, like I was like, oh man, we could store stuff here.
Yeah. So we have a much smaller closet here that we're using than we're used to, and so it's just like packed full of stuff. So yeah, we could probably take some stuff off hangers and stick them under.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you, Karen Mack, for that.
But that's
awesome
a great idea. To keep using your packing cubes
Yeah.
because like we're all
They don't have to just sit on a shelf.
we're all always looking for new storage solutions, right?
Yeah.
At least I am. I'm kind of a type A person when it comes to organization. I like watching organization shows.
Yeah, no, so
I try to get Derek on board and he's just like not into it.
no, not my cup.
But you do embrace packing cubes now.
Not my cup of Joe.
You do embrace packing cubes now.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, packing cubes are great. I just don't want to color coordinate my clothing in the. Yeah, I don't know.
What?
Actually, I really like it when my closet is really organized, but then like it gets not organized. Magically, I don't know how it
I was
happens.
watching that one HGTV show last summer, The Clutterbug, that they had a couple episodes on HGTV, and she was saying that there's certain people who like to be able to put things away quickly, and then there's people who like to be able to find things quickly. And it was like groundbreaking for me and Derek, because I'm totally the I need to be able to find things quickly person, and Derek just wants it like away. And so it's like there's a difference, right?
What are you talking about? Clutter bugs?
Yeah.
The type of bug you are?
Well, yeah, but I'm not getting into that
No,
methodology.
all right. So
it's
she's
more
a
about
cricket. I don't even know. I don't remember. What
I don't.
they are.
Yeah, I don't remember enough. But it's more about like if I can't find something, it's way more frustrating than the act of putting things away. But anyway, that's an organization thing that transfers into packing my suitcase as well.
Thomas Reiser, you just sign up for Rick's mailing list and you get the announcements for the sale. So we need to do that.
Yep. I think I used to be on his mailing list, and then I figured that because I follow him on all of the social medias, that I would get announcements quickly. But now that social media has different algorithms and stuff, I don't think I get kind of those red alerts as fast anymore.
Well, I also just feel like I sign up for too many and then I get inundated and then I just don't read any of them.
Yeah.
And so it's like one of those things where I'm like, I need to like, I probably need to do a cleanse where I like go through and I like cleanse my inbox of like a bunch of that stuff and like unsubscribe to a bunch of things and only really think about what I really need for the new year, because otherwise I'm just totally inundated with things all the time.
That is another tip for like, even with travel emails and stuff, we get a lot of those. I've had to unsubscribe from like hotel email lists that I just automatically get added to or something like that, and just being able to kind of like declutter your travel planning, declutter your email in general, that can feel good.
Yeah. All right, so
But Nicole says she loves the clutter bug, and that I think her name's Cass. No, that's not right. I forget the actual woman's name, but she has a great YouTube channel, and I agree. So she's had a YouTube channel for a long time, and only just got like the HGTV show recently. But it's pretty cool to see somebody pivot from YouTube onto TV. I definitely love seeing that.
So, hello, Julia Dagnese from Tucson.
Hi, Julia.
What's up? And Scorpio Sue says organization is right up her alley and slightly OCD about things like that.
Well, yeah. But if you watch the show, it explains
Lori Sims
there's
says
different types of organization styles.
Yeah. Lori Sims says I currently have my closet floor pulled all over. Time to organize my shoes and vacuum out all the dust bunnies and put the seasonal shoes up.
Nice.
I'm assuming like sandals.
Yeah, actually, that's a great point, because I have a bunch of boots that I want to bring forward that I can like wear more easily, because right now the boots are like in boxes and stuff. Sorry for all the people. This can be travel related. I'm gonna try to pivot this. But yeah, it's important to be able to make sure that you have your seasonal shoes at the ready. But when we were packing for the UK, that one was really hard, because I brought one pair of sandals and actually did use them like when we first got there, because it was in the 70s Fahrenheit.
I brought no sandals.
When we first arrived in Portsmouth, and we were spending a ton of time outside, and I had packed a bunch of like more autumnal clothing attire, so just being able to find like the sandals and like one tank top, and I basically wore the same tank top until the heat wave broke. That was really key. But like if you're gone for a long time, if you're traveling for a while, you need to have a variety of shoes with you, and that can be challenging.
Good morning, Marielle and Dylan. How are you?
Hi, Marielle.
Thanks for joining us. No problem if you lost track of time. I do it all the time. What time is it now? I don't know.
I got a watch on.
I got no watches on.
Derek can't find his Fitbit charger, so his watch is dead-so.
It's been dead for months.
And of course, we have different Fitbits, and so they have different chargers.
Such a racket.
It really is.
It's like every new iteration has a different charger, so like you don't have multiple. It's so angry.
Maybe you'll get a Fitbit charger in your stocking this week.
Maybe. That, or maybe I just need to go. I mean, my Fitbit, to be fair, is cracked.
What an anticlimactic gift. Like, oh, it's a charger.
For your Fitbit. Go charge it.
Go charge your Fitbit now.
No, I don't know. My Fitbit's also like kind of like cracked down the middle and stuff. So like I might just need to get a new one.
That sounds like that.
And it's a few years old, so it might be time to upgrade.
Probably like 4 years now. Yeah.
I think it broke because I used to. So when we lived in New York, which is when I got it right for the first time, I used to run all the time, and it would hit occasionally on like the treadmill or something like that. If I was like not thinking, like flailing my arms around while I ran.
He runs like this.
I run like this, It's like ah! It's like a old timey cartoon.
like an elf. It's like.
I don't.
No,
So it's like kind of screen's kind of cracked, so I think I need to get a new one. So oh well. Which is fun because I do like having the Fitbit because it does do like the whole gamification of steps and everything. So like you're like motivated to go. It's like I've climbed Kilimanjaro.
It's fun to have a Fitbit when you're traveling too because you can really see how much ground you've covered in a day. I'm sure you can do that with your phone as well now and stuff. Like if you make sure to look at it, throughout the day. But the Fitbit is kind of like, it alerts me. It's like, you've now taken 10,000 steps. And I'm like, but it's only 11 a.m.
Yeah. And Marilyn Dillon is working on a quilt. So I wasn't watching the clock. Cool.
That's a great fun hobby to have.
Yeah. Eliz keeps saying she wants to take up crochet.
I'm connected with this one really sweet woman in the Scottish Highlands on social media. We did not get to meet up on our trip. We both are very careful about exposure, so we just decided it would be better to wait till the next time. But she, as like kind of a hobby, but kind of like turning it into a business, she started an Instagram where she like posts her different things that she's knitted, whether it's like a scarf or a hat or a headband or even like little like knitted mice for decor or something like that. And she's starting to get a pretty good following. She's selling a lot of things, and she just like lives in rural Scotland and knits for fun when she can. And I'm like so proud of her. It's so awesome. Cool.
Yeah, so now Eliz is like, maybe I should learn how to knit.
Yeah, well, it's more
she
like...
did a Skillshare
I
on knitting.
I watched a Skillshare on how... Like, I watched maybe, like, the first part. I definitely didn't finish it because I was like, I don't have any of the materials, so I need to stop this.
Skillshares are great. I don't know, whatever.
They are, and you can learn... everything. Like I've done so many Skillshares on video editing and stuff like that, but then they have ones on like watercolor painting.
Why don't you type to them whatever her handle is? Because
Sure.
Marilyn Dillon says she would love to follow her.
Yeah. All right. Hold on.
Yeah, look it up so you know.
Yeah,
exactly.
I just want to make sure I'm getting, because I think it's Cat Can Knitwear, but. Yeah.
All right, so that Means to Travel just posted is the name.
Yep. Yeah. Very, very cool. I like watching her stories too, because she'll post like when she's just done, she'll make like 4 headbands at a time in different colors, and she'll be like, all right, 8 pounds each, and then like she'll update and be like, sold. I'm like, good for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Musings of Midlife says that she estimated that on her first trip to Florence, they walked 10 miles one day. And if you think it's about 2,500, I mean, that's like 30,000 steps or whatever. That's pretty awesome.
That's amazing. And I'm sure you were kind of like needing some water or wine or both at the end of that. That's a lot.
When we went to Rome, we did something like that because I had like a map of Rome, like that tourist map that they give you at the hostels. And I was just like, it was me and Eliz and a highlighter. And I'm like, we're just crossing off everything.
Yeah, he would use the highlighter every time we would hit, a spot, or every time we would pass by a spot and, spend some time there. And
we were in Rome 3 days, and I crossed almost everything off on the map.
I think you crossed everything except for, like, there's this one, I don't know if it was a church or a ruin that supposedly had the blood of Jesus on one of the steps.
Yeah, I don't think we did that.
Yeah,
we did not make it
to that one, but that was like the only thing that we didn't see.
I joked that we conquered Rome in 3 days.
Yep, you crushed it.
Um,
Great joke. But anyway, so Scorpio Sue says, we got back to the VRBO and both said, man, my legs are so tired. Oh, no, so Musings at Midlife said that to Scorpio Sue. But yeah, I mean, you guys probably saw our Portsmouth vlog. You can get really tired walking around, that's for sure.
Mary Ellen Dillon has already followed her now, and she follows Isolde as well, which is a great knitwear designer in Scotland.
Nice.
Very cool. And Lori Sims also highlights her maps.
Nice.
So, kindred spirits.
Yeah, you guys can go highlight crazy together.
It was fun. I had a good time.
It is a fun way to see all the ground that you've covered.
Yes. So, what else? So, actually, guys, I want to ask a question. What is your favorite holiday baked good? Please send that to us because we want to know. We're actually going to be baking in the next few days. Eliz has some cookies she wants to make, I think.
I do, but I don't have all the ingredients.
My dad bought some M&Ms.
Yeah, but I might need more.
So she really likes the holiday
very
M&M red and green M&M cookies. So she wants to make those. My mom always makes these peanut butter. She does like sugar cookies, and then you roll them into a ball, and then you press like the candy into it to make like the candied stuff. So like she'll do that with Hershey's Kisses and with Reese's, like mini Reese's. So those are coming. My dad is gonna do a blueberry pie, and he also found a lattice apple pie that he's gonna.
So basically, we're going to be on a sugar high next Sunday. Come join us.
But yeah, no. But if there's other baked goods, Eliz really wanted to make millionaire shortbread.
Yeah, but we don't have to make that for Christmas.
Maybe New Year's.
Maybe that's a New Year's thing.
Millionaire shortbread.
Although millionaire shortbread would be cool with like Christmas sprinkles on it, I'm sure. But
yeah,
I feel like we've got enough. It's like 5 adults. We don't need 7 batches of cookies.
My mom made monkey bread the other day. Woo-wee. That was sweet.
Yeah, it was
and
good.
Yummy.
Yeah.
We ate the heck out of that.
I'm sure a lot of people have baking traditions and stuff that you guys are either participating in or trying to figure out how to replicate this year.
For those who don't know what monkey bread is basically you take biscuit dough, you roll them into balls, then you take those balls, you coat them in like cinnamon sugar, stick them into a cake pan or something, some sort of like tin, whether it's like a thing that you would usually make like banana bread in, or like a bundt cake or something, and then you like drench it with like this butter brown sugar mixture and bake it, and then what you do is you can like pick off the individual balls and eat them. It's kind of like a monkey.
Yeah.
Think ooh. But with balls of goodness.
Scorpio Sue says Giada's lemon ricotta cookies are amazing, but I love mince pies.
Mince pies.
Yeah, mince pies. I've never had a mince pie.
I've never had a mince pie.
I know that they're like super popular this time of year, and I don't know how I've gone so long without doing that. What's in them?
I have no idea.
You don't know either? Okay. Man, we are lame.
Although there's alright, if you guys are into historical cooking, there's a really cool channel that my little brother loves, that's all about like historical cooking, and he did one on like Christmas pudding and like how to like make a traditional Christmas pudding, like what you would hear about in like the Dickens, like A Christmas Story, or what's it called, A Christmas Carol.
It's the same guy that did like the dough balls or whatever from ancient Rome, right?
Yes. So this guy is awesome. I can't remember his channel off the top of my head. I think it's like cooking in like through history or something like that.
Something
and
like that, yeah.
Seems like a really nice guy. He's always drinking wine during these things.
And he's
it's awesome.
very influential for us.
Every time we watch it, I'm like, I want wine.
Yeah,
now.
it's like, can I pour myself a glass?
But no, he actually showed how they used to make, like, historically. He always tries to cook it historically accurately and stuff. And he's done this through ancient Greece and, like, all this cool stuff. So he found one for the Christmas pudding, which is like a figgy pudding, which for them is like raisins and stuff, because that's like the same thing, I guess. And he did it like in the old-fashioned way of like using like a cloth, like a greased cloth that was then floured, wrap that around the ball, and then boil it in like a cauldron, basically, like in water for hours, for like 5 hours or whatever. And it was like really interesting. He went through like the whole thing about like how they would test for it and how that is actually shown in A Christmas Carol. It was really, really neat, actually. I really liked it.
Chris Frank follows the guy, so it is Cooking Through History.
Cooking Through History.
Okay.
So cool.
So,
or is it Taste of History?
Taste of History.
It might be a Taste of History. That sounds good too.
Shady Hill
Homestead, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for making it right.
Yes, and thanks for joining us. I don't know if I've ever seen you on here, so thanks for joining.
Musings at Midlife says, at the end of our 2021 trip, we are hoping to spend 2 days in Rome and flying home from there. What are the top you have to go there places in a short time frame? So, Derek and I are delighted to answer this question with the caveat that we have not been to Rome since
in quite a while.
2009. We did go together, and we were there for 3 days.
So what I would say is
not a lot's probably changed in terms of our recommendations because, like, you know, it's the same top sites.
Yeah. So wait. So how long?
2 days.
2 days. 2 days. So look at the Rome.
I want to say the Trevi Fountain is my favorite.
Okay. So my recommendation is if you're there for like 2 days, get like they have a thing called the Roma Pass and look into it because I thought it was well worth our time. You skip lines and things like that, which is super important when you only have a short period of time. And it allows you to get into a number of, museums or attractions.
Like
so
the Colosseum's on there,
The
right?
Colosseum is on there, or at least it was. So, the good part is you skip the line, get into the Colosseum quicker. And the Colosseum is right across the way from the Roman Forum, and those count as only one attraction because I think you have a limited number of attractions that you're allowed to off the pass. So that's like one attraction, and those are two big ones, right? The Colosseum and the Roman Forum walking through is really cool. There's a Chinese restaurant by the Roman Forum. I don't recommend it. Did not like it. Don't remember what it was called. Probably not still around.
The subway system in Rome is very efficient, and so and Sue is saying the hop-on, hop-off bus could work, and that certainly could be a
Gotta
great
love
option.
a good ho-ho bus.
But the subway is probably a little bit more of the budget option on that. And so we took the subway everywhere, and it was super quick. But mapping out which subway you need to get from one place to another, and just actually creating your itinerary so you kind of know exactly what you need to do, inclusive of your transportation, would be key. Yep. The other thing is, I'm not Catholic. Derek is, but I'm not. We went to Vatican City, and I was really glad that we went there. Regardless.
Very, very cool. We actually did not see the Sistine Chapel while we were there. We just didn't have the time.
Yeah.
But I would recommend it. I think that, I think Vatican City is really cool. I mean, it's just such an important part of Christian history and just world history, really.
Yeah.
And, it's a pretty neat thing to see. There's a number of, things around there as well that you can go check out. Like there's some estates and stuff that were, the homes of influential cardinals back during the Renaissance and stuff that you can go see, which is pretty neat. But I'd say really the must see for me is the Colosseum is super high up there. But then the Spanish Steps to me are just, really, really awe-inspiring and make for a great picture. Just don't sit on them because it's illegal. You will get a hefty fine if you're caught sitting on the Spanish Steps.
Really?
Yep.
Didn't we sit on them, or am I misremembering? Weren't there a lot of people sitting on them?
Yeah, that's why they now have fines.
Oh, was it not illegal when we went?
Correct.
Oh.
So it's one of those you hear about this a lot with anti-tourist rules that are being put in place, and it's I think it's a good thing because what it is it's meant to make it so that people behave appropriately, right? So the Spanish Steps are work of art basically, right? And you shouldn't just be lounging, sitting, and just taking up space when they're actually used to walk, right? It's actually an access way and stuff, so they don't want you blocking pedestrian traffic. So just be aware of those types of things before you go, because Italy has a number of those things in place that you should be aware of before you get there.
Yeah, and Chris, thank you for that call out too. He's saying that the Rome Metro can be very crowded, especially as it approaches Termini Station. Watch for pickpockets in the crowds.
Yeah.
And that's the case in a lot of heavily touristy areas
Yeah.
in a lot of major cities. So, you know, if you're not as familiar with riding like in a subway system or something like that, there's resources on the internet that can really help you understand, like map out even within a subway station itself, like so you're not just walking in being like, where do I go next? You can kind of there might be a YouTube video out there of like somebody literally transferring from train to train at that particular station. So that's one thing that when we were we're very, very familiar with riding subways, but at that time, like in 2009, we weren't. We were college students in Bloomington, Indiana. So you know, you have to be careful regardless. But when we do go to places that we know that we're going to take a subway, you know, we do try to map out and try to understand. Okay, where's the entrance on the street? Where's like once we walk into that subway, like how deep does it go down? Like what should I be expecting in terms of that part of the journey?
Especially to make sure if you have bags, like if it's when you first get there, you don't want to use a subway if it's like gonna then have like a ton of steps to get to the top if you have heavy bags. So
Even
just
with an elevator, sometimes it's
just understanding those things before you are traveling and stuff. But once you get there and you just hopefully have a day bag or something like that, and you're just walking around, hopefully there's nothing that's gonna be too bad. I will say that the funny joke that I had heard is that, you know, the reason why there's not more stops on the Roman subway system is that every time they dig, they find a new ancient ruin.
Yeah,
and so they always have to stop construction, bring in archaeologists, and like go through a whole excavation process. So it takes a long time to put out new routes on the Roman subway, which is, I was like, oh, that makes sense. It's like thousands of years of history, and it's been a city that whole time. It just keeps getting built atop, top of each other. So
and Scorpio Sue,
interesting.
you're right too. She says check out some of the walking Rome YouTube videos. Rome is very walkable, and it certainly is. Derek and I did a lot of walking too.
We mainly did walking. We did take the subway a few times to kind of like get us from our cheap hotel outside of the center into the center. But then from there we were really just walking most of the time.
Yeah.
But I would also say the one thing to be aware of is that in Italy, you do, if you're taking a train, if you take an actual train in Italy, understand that you do have to validate your tickets before you get onto the train. There's like a stamp thing at the train stops.
It's such a crazy system.
And if you don't do that, you can get a hefty fine.
Yeah.
Like quite hefty. So check that out. I know that Rick Steves has put out stuff on that before in the past.
I legit did not know that when I went to Italy. And I think it was something like you got to Italy before I did because I was coming from London and Derek was coming from Sevilla, and maybe
I got there like 2 days before you.
Met me at the train station or something, and you were like, "Did you validate your ticket?" And I was like, "What?"
Luckily, she didn't get fined.
And I didn't get fined because I think
caught.
I probably like went in and validated it or something. Gosh, it's been 11 years since then, but
it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like they don't announce it. They don't say like, don't forget to validate your ticket in English. Maybe they say it in Italian, but
so what was funny about that though is like, so I got there first, right? And I was not a good traveler back then, right? So because I hadn't done a lot of travel. This was my first time in Europe. We were studying abroad, and I remember getting off in. So I flew from Malaga. In southern Spain over to Pisa. Then I took the train from Pisa to Florence.
Yeah.
And I was staying in a hostel. And, you know, I was staying there for, I think I got there like 2 days before her. And I was just like lost. I was like, I don't know where this hostel is that I'm supposed to be staying at. This was like before smartphones. There was I couldn't get a map up. And I just like was walking around like an idiot. It was like getting dark out. Found a bridge, and I found these like 2 American girls on the bridge who were obviously like college students, and I was like, all right, I got a question because I have no idea where I'm at. Do you guys know where this place might be? And they helped me find my hostel, which thank God. Otherwise I would have just been like probably like sleeping on the street that night. I did not know where I was. It's kind of like when I moved to New York for the first time when I was in college, summer of my sophomore year. I basically got to my place I was staying at. It was like a dorm, And I stepped outside again before smartphones or anything. And I was like, all right, I don't want to get lost. I'm in New York for the first time in my life. I moved there. I'd never been before. And, you know, the biggest city I'd been before that was, like, Chicago. But, like, I never got to explore Chicago. I was always, like, little and with family. So I was like, you know, all right, if I just walk down this one street, I can't get lost because I can just turn around and come straight back. And, like, I'm walking. I hadn't eaten all day. And I finally I see a Starbucks. And I'm like, oh, Starbucks. Okay. So I go in there and I order my Starbucks. I eat. I feel better. I walk outside and I realize I'm on Wall Street. I'm like, oh, I made it. And it was like, that to me was just like, and now I'm like, whatever, you know, it's just Wall Street. Who cares? But to me, I was like, that was big.
You got lost.
Any fun stories like that, you know?
Got lost and found yourself on Wall Street.
Any fond remembrances of when you were a bad traveler? Because I was a bad traveler back then. I was a country rube, as you say.
There's a lot of people talking about their... Sorry, I was trying to read a few things and you just passed it. Talking about their favorite baked goods.
Gingerbread.
Mince
Mince pies.
French baked fruit tart.
Ooh.
That sounds good.
Peanut butter cookies.
All right, that's her godson's favorite.
Nice.
That's your favorite.
I love Reese's.
Holiday goods is shortbread or my friend Kathy's chocolate chip cookies.
Sounds like Kathy can bake.
Kathy's chocolate chip cookies. My mom says Oma. So Oma is my grandmother. Tried to make some Dutch Christmas pastries for Opa one year, and he was polite about the result and really appreciated the effort. And then he told her that his family always just bought theirs at the bakery.
Nice. And Nicole is surprised we didn't try mince pies in the UK. Marks and Spencer sells some good ones.
Man, we kept trying to try all these things that you guys told us to get at Marks and Spencer's, and then you keep adding more to the list.
Well, it's also hard because Eliz just loves Millionaire Shortbread. So if ever given the option, she was just like, that.
And they don't have it here, and I feel like they should. I feel like every Starbucks here should also have Millionaire Shortbread, just like every Starbucks in the UK.
Because it's so good. I mean, it's just it's a
like,
no-brainer.
Yeah, like, who's not going to want that? It is delicious and chocolatey and caramelly.
Yeah. So Lori Sims says that Vatican Museum and Sistine Chapel could be about a half day at least, but they are must-sees. I agree. Scorpio Sue says, haven't gone, but man, have I researched. We're going to do Palatine Hill and the Colosseum. Nice.
Do it. That's awesome.
Klaus, my favorite, is... Ooh, I'm going to pronounce this. Eibelskiver.
Yeah, that's a letter we don't even have.
I don't know what the AE, how that's pronounced, but...
I think it's...
Eibelskiver. I don't know. You need a special frying pan to make them little round balls of pure joy. That sounds like something I would eat.
Awesome.
That sounds delish.
I bet it's just like...
fried dough or something.
So good,
sounds really good.
Now I'm going to have to... Okay, Klaus, I'm going to Google what that is after this live chat.
Ronnie Dove, sorry if we missed you already. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, Ronnie. Thanks.
So, Eric says, I was in Rome with school. It was 42 Celsius, and we walked 100 kilometers in 5 days. In the heat, I was dying. Yes, that sounds horrible.
42 Celsius?
Is hot.
I mean, that's like, you
Dang.
should definitely not be outside in that. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And Nicole is saying that they do have validation processes in a lot of mainland European cities. Yep. Chris, I am used to the ticket I'm used to the ticket validation since the Dallas Dart Rail. You had to validate paper tickets.
Wow.
Interesting.
Dallas trying to be all European.
Nice. Scorpio Sue is gonna go clean. Yuck.
Oh.
Thanks for joining though, Scorpio Sue.
Thanks. Derek and I have to wrap gifts this afternoon. That's on our to-do list today.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, gifts aren't wrapped. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
It's surprise.
Keep sneaking up on me. Mary Ellen Dillon says, unluckily, I won't be having any of those Christmas treats this week. Oh. And she says you can get Eibelskiver pans at William and Sonoma. Nice.
I still need to Google what it even is. But I'm like intrigued because that's such a fun looking word. So I bet it's a really tasty thing.
Nice.
Williams-Sonoma sells everything. Like, you want to make this one thing? We
Here's a
got
pan.
you. We got you. And also, their like peppermint bark is
Ooh, yeah, so good.
to die for.
Yeah.
It's, Williams-Sonoma peppermint bark. That's the good stuff.
That is really good. It is really good. But I never want to finish it because I always want it to be available. I'm like, I want it. So good. And actually, are they other one? They also do the like the peppermint bark cookies that are really good.
Yeah, they do.
Those are super good. I remember a couple years ago after Christmas they had them on sale and stuff, and I bought like a couple like tubes of them.
Yeah.
So good.
I feel like that kind of chocolate mint combo is super good, and it's very different than like a York peppermint patty. Like it's two different flavors. You're not eating the same thing.
Now I want to go get baked goods
Sounds
to go with my coffee.
like we're gonna have to cook and wrap, or bake and wrap presents today.
Ma, cookies.
Ma, the meatloaf. So Katie says I learned what those were on the British Bake Off show and looks delicious.
Oh, cool.
Guys, I don't know what it is.
No idea.
We gotta learn.
Although again, that tasting history guy did a thing which was an ancient Roman. He said it was like kind of like cheesecake. I don't think it was really like cheesecake, but it was like ricotta and like flour mixed together and then like deep fried and like honey, and he said it was really good.
I started
would
paying
eat it.
attention because I was just so focused on his yummy looking glass of wine at certain points. He should be like in a wine commercial. He just holds it so like
So well, it's just like I want to
like,
do that too.
He just looks so cool. Like, he does a really good job at looking really cool while drinking wine. While we're just like sipping it down on our live streams.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Throw it back.
Yeah. So I know we've caught up with the chat. If anybody else has like questions about holiday travel, I feel like we've kind of covered Derek and my experiences. The one last thing I wanted to say is I actually had written a blog post about this on my blog that I can't point you guys to right now because the website's still under construction. But it's in the depths of the internet somewhere right now. But I wrote an article, I think it was 2 years ago, about how holiday travel, in my perspective, is becoming easier. I feel like airports used to be so well known for being so inefficient, and like especially I grew up at O'Hare, like outside of O'Hare Airport, and Midway would be just like chaos at the holiday season, in years that people were actually traveling for things. And you'd have to get there like 3 hours early for a domestic flight because the lines would be so long and stuff like that. And I've found that it's become so much more efficient, even on those really high travel days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like the prevalence of TSA pre-check and things like that have definitely made security lines much more efficient than they were.
I'm hoping there's like, now that there's so many resources out there about like what you can and cannot bring, and like you could just Google search like what do I need to know about holiday travel and stuff, like, and you can learn like you cannot bring wrapped Christmas gifts in your carry-on suitcase, that sort of thing.
So don't bring wrapped gifts.
Those resources weren't as readily available, back in the 90s and the early 2000s as they are now. And you can just watch YouTube channels about how to travel at the holidays and stuff. So that it's become hopefully a little bit easier on the consumer too, and you can come prepared and not be surprised once you get to the airport too.
So a couple recommendations real quick that I have around Christmas travel is if you are traveling to visit family or something like that and you're bringing gifts, maybe think about ordering them delivered to your family's house. Just have it put into your name so they don't accidentally open up their gift before you get there.
Yep. And give them a heads up.
Give them a heads up that it's coming and whatnot, so they know to look out for them. But that's good because if you don't have to bring them with you, all the better. Definitely, if you do bring them, do not wrap them like Eliz said, because they will have to be unwrapped by security, and that is a bummer.
And then also if you're driving somewhere, which a lot of people will go, in other years, not this year, but other years, they'll go spend a couple days with close enough family that maybe you don't have to get on an airplane. There's ways to make it a little bit more comfortable for yourself, knowing that maybe you're going to be on an air mattress or on a couch or something. You know, like bring your own pillow. Just bring different things that are going to at least give you a little sense of you
Home.
having your own stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so I mean, there's just like little things like that. I mean, I would say that, you know, it was funny how Liz put out the thing about, you know, holiday travel or something like that, and what are things that, you know, you do for it or whatever, and I think I was just like alcohol. Which is a joke, but kind of true.
Ronnie Dove gave me an answer. I could probably read those out loud to you guys if you want, if you're interested.
But, you know, regardless if you are staying with somebody, you know, bring in some sort of gift with you no matter what. You know, I find to be a good gesture. I like bringing and gifting some wine. And if I'm lucky, we open it while we're there and enjoy it all together. You know, so, you know, while I was joking, I was also not joking about alcohol. Another thing, you know, that I think about is around holiday travel, especially if you have a significant other, a partner, spouse, whatever, is making sure that you're trying to be equitable with time spent between families, you know, so that, you know, nobody, you know, there's no resentment between the partners over time spent, and making sure that you're, you know, talking about those types of things, I think is super important.
So there's a few more answers. I know, I believe this is Baggy T, and I don't know if he's still on. He said, don't mention politics. It's very accurate. And then Ronnie Dove, who I know is not still on, said, bring an empty stomach, which I know is so important, especially with, he has like a big Italian family, if I'm remembering correctly. So if you're going to a family that loves to cook,
yeah,
that's more, you know, important than anything.
My
to bring an empty stomach.
My cousin Pam, every time we go to like visit her, no matter what, she's a huge baker. She loves baking. She actually like bakes cakes for people's birthdays and does like the crazy ones that are like,
she loves decorating them. Yeah.
Decorated crazy, like Hogwarts or something. She every time we go, she has like bags of just like freshly baked cookies ready for us to be eaten. And we're just like, Pam, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do this. Every time we get there, there's like dozens of cookies, and she's like, here, eat them. And we're like, okay, I guess I will. Twist my arm.
And then a couple others I'll read out is pack only what you need, so you can save room for gifts. And that's especially true, like, we got to a point where we would always just have the gifts mailed to our destination, but then we have to bring stuff home. So sometimes it would be a little bit like, okay, we're gonna just have to like mail this to ourselves. But other times it'd be like, all right, we have to check luggage. Like, we can't just pack in our normal carry-ons for Christmas time. And then one other one that I thought was cool, someone said, bring a corkscrew in your purse if you're not flying. So I guess that's just to be able to have access to what you said, which is alcohol.
Corkscrews don't want... I mean, I've been to a place before where we had to open up a bottle of wine but had no corkscrew. And I've done it a couple different ways. One way was like in the shoe, you bang it against the wall to get the cork to pop out. But another way was I tried poking it through with a pen, and then it shot up and hit the ceiling. And that was red wine. That was not fun.
Yeah, don't do what Derek does. Bring a corkscrew.
Luckily, I did that, though, in the bathroom over the tub. So even though it hit the ceiling, it then just splattered on the tub. So, like...
There you go.
That was good.
Smart move.
Thought ahead a little bit. That was a college, though. That was college Derek.
Yeah. We got some new people on. Hi,
what
Kathy.
Is up?
She says, happy holidays, love the sweaters. And then
hey, Kathy. I got a sweet bud.
And then Bonnie's on. She says she slept in.
Hey!
Sounds
Get that good sleep. That's all that's needed.
Time to give us a big thumbs
Aaron
up.
Austin, welcome from Oregon.
Hi,
Good to
Aaron.
see you. Kim M, it's a wonderful community Les and Derek have created with you all. Awesome. Oh yeah, because there was a thing. Music in midlife. I know I've said it before. I just want to say it again. I love being a turtle. No, one of the few pluses this year has been getting to know new people, being a part of these traveling groups. Saved my sanity. Thank you all. Thank you.
So my mom
for joining
asks,
us.
do you have any advice about where travelers should go to in Chicago for the holiday season? Which is funny because we're like almost never in Chicago for the holiday season. But I follow the Chicago Good Life on Instagram, and she was saying that this year, to answer your question about the Marshall Fields Macy's thing, this year she feels like it's a little bit like more low key in that Marshall Fields. I forget what the restaurant is called on the higher level in that store. She said there's still decor, but it's a little bit more low key, and there's still Santa for the kids too.
But with regards to other places, other than that, there's usually a Christmas market, 2 of them.
Yeah.
One down in the Daily
Chris Kringle Market.
The Kringle Market. One of them at the Daily Plaza, I think is what it's called, in like the Loop, and the other one's over by the Wrigley Field. Otherwise, I think seeing the lights at the zoo.
Yeah.
Is
just
a really
to be
big
clear,
one.
I don't think the Chris Kringle Market's open this year.
I already said it's not open this year.
Okay. I didn't hear you say that.
I said that.
Sorry.
It's not open. But then the other thing is like the Christmas light, the zoo lights at the Lincoln Park Zoo is a huge one to do that families love to do, and I think it's free because it's free zoo.
Right, and this year I believe you had to buy tickets with an assigned time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people go and like just do different tours of like houses that have lights in the neighborhoods and stuff. But it is a more mellow Christmas this year, I think.
Yeah. I'd say, in usual times, Navy Pier would also be a place that would have a bunch of decorations and festive stuff up and be a cool place to go to.
Yeah.
They do have the botanical garden in there as well, which is enclosed, so when it's cold out, you can still walk around and be comfortable, which would be nice. I don't know, what are some other ones, Cindy, you can think of?
I honestly don't know enough because we've only spent one Christmas in Chicago. We only lived in Chicago for 2 years as adults, so.
So yeah, I don't know. Those are the things I would recommend, but yeah, I don't know.
Musings at Midlife says, I know I have said before.
I already read that.
Oh, sorry. Okay, and then Kim M says, love the Christmas sweaters, thank you. I've flown on Christmas Day, but only domestically. We bring lots of little chocolates to give the staff stuck working.
Oh,
that
that's
is
so
sweet.
nice. That's
and
very sweet.
my best friend's a flight attendant, and she will also actually do that year round. If she's like flying on standby or something, she'll bring little gifts to the flight attendants and the crew, and they always appreciate it. And she says like she always appreciates that too, so that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Mom says it was the Walnut Room.
The Walnut Room, yes, that's what I was trying to think of. Thank you.
Musings in Midlife. Time to pretend to be productive. Everyone have a super wonderful Christmas and lots of sweets. See you next time.
Bye, Laura. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
And I think Derek and I are gonna have to go pretend to be productive pretty soon as well.
I don't wanna.
I know, but I really just was like pleased to be able to at least have a conversation with you guys to hear what your experiences traveling at the holidays have been. I know that, like rightfully so, a lot of people don't travel at the holidays a lot, especially if your families are all close by. And then there's people like us who travel almost every holiday. So yeah. It's cool to hear the different traditions that you guys have all had, and just get to know what your typical holiday life is like.
Yeah, no, it's fun. And, I've always found that, traveling around the holidays can be a little bit stressful, and, maybe you come out of it a little bit less rejuvenated because of it, because it does take some out of you. But, it's also very nice to see family and whatnot. If, that requires travel, then so be it.
So I know it's tough because this year there's so much less of that. And so we're sending out just all these warm thoughts to all of you guys all over the world, and wishing you all just as great of a holiday as can be. It's tough for everybody this year. It really is. Even with New Year's and stuff. Like, New Year's is such a... Oh, thanks, Derek. I'm trying to be serious. New Year's is such a social holiday.
You're just being... Well. It's a little too heavy. It got a little heavy here, guys. I wanted to lighten it up.
You really lightened it up. you brightened everybody's day just a little bit.
Just a little bit of cheer and goodwill.
But thank you all so much for joining the live stream, and we're going to be back here next Sunday.
Our last one of 2020.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
It's going to be on the 27th.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
There's not 34 days.
Sorry, I needed to look at a calendar. Yep, last one of 2020. Because thankfully 2020 is about to be over. I think we're all in agreement that that's a good thing. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for tuning in today. Hopefully we'll see you next week and hear how all of your Christmas times, holiday times have gone. And in the meantime, just stay safe, stay warm, all of that. So,
thanks everybody for joining us.
bye everybody.
Happy travels. Bye.